resolute of heart, make firm thy mind. The tongue of a man is the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot. Cast not thy heart after riches. There's no ignoring fate and destiny. Place not thy thoughts on things outside. Every man is destined for his hour.
On feeling goods where all of your cash went. Not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process, believe me, greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in, positive mind, gotta reach it. Putting effort to bring forth this new being. You're not consumed by the lust for things, but knows that his worth is determined by words and deeds. Your mind is affected by words and deeds. Your thoughts are keys to what you're trying to see, and what you're trying to see should be to reach your goals. Hold on to your dreams, keys open doors. Since you can't always choose circumstances, make sure to choose your thoughts wisely. Choose advancement, work towards the future. Now's your chance, kid. Accept responsibility, avoid resentment. Actions always take root from what you think about. Things ain't going your way, ain't it hard to figure out why? Why? Ask why. Ain't gotta tell you, it's right in front of your eyes. So in following these principles, you'll find along the road you're the only one responsible for your soul. It's no coincidence. Take control of your life, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. You take control, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Yeah, it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Nah, it's no coincidence.
Old shells are highly prized. And this one is occupied by a sarcastic fringe.
But we can only do that if we elect people who are going to back our agenda and fight for our values. And that is why we have to defeat Nancy Pelosi, and Maxine Waters, a very low IQ individual. You ever see her? You ever see her? We will impeach him. We will impeach him. We will impeach the president. But he hasn't done anything wrong. It doesn't matter. We will impeach him. She's a low IQ individual. You can't help it. She really is.
Trump's policies would throw us into a recession, the last thing we need.
Some of those jobs of the past are just not going to come back. He just says, well, I'm going to negotiate a better deal. Well, how exactly are you going to negotiate that? What magic wand do you have?
The Dow, well, it's gone up for 8 straight sessions, and it will go up, at least at the opening bell, again today.
Companies are hiring. We know layoffs are down and companies are hiring.
Unemployment for African Americans fell to a new low of 5.9%. Female job seekers, a low as well, 3.4%.
Jobless claims dropping to 3.8%. In fact, we've only seen a number that low since 1969.
Even the New York Times has to admit it. Check out this report. We ran out of words to describe how good the jobs numbers are.
All right, you're listening to breaking news, absolutely breaking the news. Breaking the mainstream media with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. All right, what's up, people? Coming off the pundits, which is right before this show. You know, and we were having an interesting conversation during pundits about the elections over here, and Eva Bermudez Zimmerman, who ran for lieutenant governor. You know, and it is very interesting, the conversation, just because what goes on in politics, and you see people and how they react to one another, and in the Democrat Party, where there's somebody sneaking into the studio over here. Anyway, in the Democrat Party, where they, like I said on the show prior, where they practice tribalism, and they basically go to their own corners and they take care of themselves, yet they like to say that they're an inclusive party, and they're not. They practice tribalism and they eat one another. And basically what was being, you know what, I wrote something right before the show, and I just want to read it. You know, I just want to chime in on the primaries that were held this week. I speak to a lot of people in politics. I've spoken to a lot of people involved in the politics game, and I'm also just, I'm like, sometimes I happen to be in the room, you know, with people when they're exchanging these different ideas, and it's all Democrats, right? You know, so all of these different ideas are being exchanged, and I'm like that fly on the wall. As big as I am, it's like nobody notices me, but I'm listening to everything, right? And I also have some anonymous, you know, sources who I would never say their names or anything like that. You know, I can never name them because, you know, they're friends and I don't want them to look bad. Anyway, so here is my 2 cents on these elections. It's an interesting situation that you have here in Connecticut, and I'll give you a sneak peek at how the sausage is made. We had a Hispanic this year running for lieutenant governor, Eva Bermudez Zimmerman, and the truth is she never had a shot. And there are many reasons why she never had a shot. But the one that bothers me most is that the plantation bosses in the Democrat Party didn't allow her the opportunity of that shot. They felt that she had to wait her turn. They felt, and I heard some people say, she sounded stupid. You know, she didn't speak coherently enough for the plantation bosses. And look, I'm never going to mention names, but I hear a lot of things. And if they were going to have a minority in that position, if the plantation bosses decided they needed a minority for that position, it wouldn't be that minority. They don't value the Hispanics at this point here in Connecticut. After all, she didn't pay her dues in the party. She hasn't bowed down enough times in front of the plantation leaders. Hispanics don't have a legitimate role in leadership right now. They don't know the plantation. Wait, let me see. Let me go back. They don't know that the plantation leaders aren't interested in bringing them into the big house, and that's true. And you heard it on the show prior. A lot of Hispanics don't even realize that they don't want to be let into the big house. You know, they really don't want to let you into the big house. They like the Hispanics being the sharecroppers, the people picking and doing the little jobs, and they pat you on your head. You know, they pat you on your head and they tell you, be happy with the sanctuary that this state gives you. You know, Eva was out of turn for them. And for them, she was delusional to think otherwise. You know, I'm going to stop there so I don't give any information that I've heard and people figure it out. But in this state, we have a problem with the Democrats. It's a plantation here. And You have to wait your turn, and they do practice racism. They practice it and they use race in their elections, and they use it in the way where they could drive votes in different directions. Not because they want to help anybody, but this is what's happening here. All right, that's my 2 cents. Let's go to music, and I'll be back with some headlines. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news, breaking the mainstream media with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a real big problem. That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a real big problem. Leaving on my crib, just minding my shit. Saw the lights in the mirror, seatbelt went click. I'm innocent, my paper's legit, but that wasn't gonna stop him from giving me shit. He's walking to my door, tapping on my glass, telling me his reasons for what he called fast. Doesn't matter, got no time to stress. Can somebody be my witness? Frustrated, irritated while I'm sitting in court looking at the jury, feeling no support. My lawyer telling me to take plea. I can see the judge's eyes saying I should agree, but that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a real big problem. That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a real big problem. Left my girl home, now I'm rolling on my own. No shame that I pregame, secrets how to save. That's just how I do, and my friends do. But now I'm clubbing like a fool. Supermodel shaped like a Coke bottle. Killer smile like a style, all the fellas going wild. Let's connect, I detect what she expect. This is something I regret. From my pocket, she's a threat. Here she comes.
Hey, what's up?
What you think? Did she just wink? Stay focused. What's your name?
Buy me a drink?
That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a real big problem. That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a real big problem. 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 That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a real big problem. That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a real big problem. Owe me money, pay up, hot for me, please stop. Wanna ride, pay for gas, broke fools, kiss my, pay for dinner, can't do. Now you mad, who's you? Act sick, got the cure, fake people, move it off. That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a real big problem. That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a real big problem.
You're listening to Breaking News with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave. Breaking the news. All right, let's get to a headline. We have here from the Washington Times, Chelsea Clinton, Roe versus Wade was a boom to the U.S. economy. So, what Chelsea Clinton is saying, because women went and had abortions instead of staying home and taking care of children, that woman added, I think she said $3 trillion to the, more than $3 trillion to the U.S. economy since Roe versus Wade. You know, so, and Hillary, her mother has always looked down on housewives and mothers, and it's amazing how these people, you know, Chelsea has a daughter. Why didn't she abort her daughter? You know, if she thought it was going to be an economic boom for her. You know, so, but they make statements like this, like they're monetizing abortions. They're putting a dollar figure on the babies you've killed. That's Chelsea Clinton who said that. It's insane. And I look at Aretha, right? And I saw an interview that she had, and they asked her what's her biggest job, what's the job she's more proud of, and she said actually being a mother, being a good mother was what she was most proud of. And Aretha was top of the mountain, right? Top of the hill, successful. But it didn't stop her. She didn't look to monetize her children by getting rid of them. But that's exactly what Chelsea Clinton said. And let me read. Let's see if I got her exact words. At the rise up for Roe versus Wade, she said that exactly what I said. Roe versus Wade added $3 trillion to the economy. You know, and it's insane. I don't know how Democrats get away with saying this stuff. You know, and then you look at the communities where most of the abortions are being had, and I would, well, maybe Democrats are telling you something there. That they don't put any value in minority children being aborted. Maybe that's what they're saying. You know, it's insane. And like I said, I don't get how they get away with saying this stuff. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry A.K. The Brave on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
We want an immediate end to this police brutality and mob attacks that our people are confronted by every single day, every single week, every single month.
This used to be the land of opportunity. People used to strive for peace. We don't even use the word unity until them guns release. Young kids dropping out of school, thinking they know it all, don't even know the rules. Grown men want to kill themselves for a cause. Innocent people losing their lives in the cause. History repeating itself, what are we doing? The revolution will be televised, still brewing. CNN cameras, satellite coverage. We heading for destruction, don't forget your luggage. Marvin Gaye's vision, what's going on? Back in 71, it's being reborn. We need to wake up, people getting shot dead. Homie lost his life for doing what the police said.
I just wanna know if we gonna last. The glass is half full, the bottom's coming fast. I just wanna know where's all the justice? Blame it on the system. No, we can't trust it. I just wanna know if we gonna last. The glass is half full, the bottom's coming fast. I just wanna know where's all the justice? Blame it on the system. No, we can't trust it. I just wanna know. Too much stress, but Lord knows we trying different drama every day. Too many young people dying, having conversations like, what happened to the youth? You really want to know? We stopped teaching them the truth. Took the power from the parents, took religion out of school. I just watched the fire challenge. Who's raising these fools? Damn. Too many cubs, no lions. Too many broken hearts and families crying. Damn. Will we ever be free at last? The way we going, I don't know if we gon' even last. Martin Luther still having dreams. Listen closely, you can hear the screams. Yeah, violence all across your TV screens. Turn me into Malcolm by any means. Yeah, corruption busting through the seams. Hands up, screaming loud, don't kill my dreams. If we gonna last, the glass is half full, the bottom's coming fast. I just wanna know where's all the justice? Blame it on the system. No, we can't trust it. I just wanna know if we gonna last, the glass is half full, the bottom's coming fast. I just wanna know where's all the justice? Blame it on the system. No, we can't trust it. I just wanna know
what was going through Ali head when he fought, and what they put into his head. Now that's allegedly, of course. I wanna know why them judges bringing books to the court. Strictly the Flinger brothers stripping the child of his child support. He wanna know why his daddy left, but he don't know he mad he left. Now they're in school and he's using aggressive force. I wanna know how you shoot a man unarmed in view of the camera, and it get plastered on the news. That's sticking to the plans, yeah, but they don't know, and they don't care where they don't go. But do you blame them? Well, like cognitive dissonance to eat your soul, that's how it goes. That's why I'm Garvey like split flit the Molly type, to lift the kids to higher heights. That's if provided right, like Eastman riders right, I'm right. A thievery when time is tight. I'm talking land and resources, yeah, the diamond tight. Bet you ain't know, if you don't think, then you don't grow. That leave you stunted by the liquor store corner screaming.
I just wanna know if we gonna last. The glass is half full, the bottom's coming fast. I just wanna
I just want to know. All right, you're listening to Breaking News. All right, I'm going to get to a headline because I was having a conversation earlier this morning, right before Pundits, with somebody who asked me what topics am I going to have on my show. I said I hadn't decided yet because it's hard to prepare when I'm doing everybody else's shows. So I grab a whole bunch of headlines and I just throw them up and I never know which tab I'm going to grab, and then I go with that. But he wanted me to talk about Donald Trump calling Omarosa a dog. It's not something I'm interested in talking about, but the reason I'm bringing it up is because he said I wouldn't bring it up, and which he used reverse psychology on me, I guess, and it worked. But let's talk about it. He called, let's see. I'm going to read Trump's tweet about Omarosa. When you give a crazed, crying lowlife a break and give her a job at the White House, I guess it just didn't work out. Good work by General Kelly for quickly firing that dog. And people are going, oh my God, what he really meant to call her was B. He should have just called her a dumb bitch. Is what they wanted him, or they're saying he said. But calling her a dog is really demeaning and racist. He's calling her a dog because she's black. That has to be why he threw dog in there. And this is exactly what somebody who's intelligent was telling me. It had to be. So to help him out, because I know Dems have been going crazy with this stuff for a couple of days, I'm going to help him out. And I'm going to give him other times Trump has called people dogs. Sure, there's going to be some black people in this, right? But he's an equal opportunity insulter, and you'll see that. All right, so he tweeted about Reverend Wright, Obama's 20-year pastor, which Obama never knew that he hated America in the 20 years he sat in the pews. You can believe that if you want to. Not going to argue that point right now. But Obama called Reverend Wright his friend, counselor, and great leader, then dumped him like a dog. Okay, he wasn't really calling him a dog. He said Obama dumped him like a dog, but did he mean dog? What did he mean? Right? So, okay, let's move on to the next one. Mitt Romney had his chance to be a failed president, but he choked like a dog. Now he calls me racist, but I am the least racist person there is. There you go. He called Mitt Romney a dog. I don't even think Mitt Romney could tan. So it's not about color, right? Or race. At David Gregory got thrown off of TV by NBC. Fired like a dog. Oh, fired like a dog. Just like General Kelly did a good job firing her like a dog. I could go on because Trump called a lot of people dogs. Well, let's move on. Bob Corker, who helped President O give us the bad Iran deal and couldn't get elected dog catcher in Tennessee, is now fighting for tax cuts. Okay. At Governor Pataki, couldn't be elected dog catcher if he ran again. So on. At Fox News. Wait. Wrong tweet. Anyway. I could keep going. He's called people dogs. He's referred people dogs. This is Donald Trump. This is Donald Trump speaking. He's an equal opportunity insulter. Actually, you have to look at him and he should be actually patted on the back. He really should. He should be patted at the back that he doesn't actually look at color. He doesn't look at race. He doesn't look at anything. If he feels you slighted him, he goes full tilt in your direction. Regardless. White, black, Latino, anybody. You know, but that goes out to my Democrat friends who, are you going to bring up Omarosa? First, I don't care about Omarosa because I heard when she was pro-Trump, I heard the most disgusting things said about her by my Democrat friends, okay? The most disgusting, Uncle Tom, and I won't even say some of the words that they called Omarosa when she was pro-Trump. And now that she's anti-Trump, can you believe he called a human being a dog? Look, get over yourself. It's about time that you guys get over the fact that he won, you lost. There's no collusion. You know, I was talking this week to a professional propagandist, and that's as much as I'll say about the person. A professional propagandist, right in the thick of the game. And he was telling me, if Trump is doing, because the Rasmussen poll came out, and Trump is at 50% again this week, right? And he's like, if Trump is doing so well, why are so many people depressed and feel every day when they walk out like they have the weight of the world on their shoulders? And I said, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way. Actually, since Trump's been president, I've actually slept better. It might be the weed, but it might be the CBD that I take for pain. But I'm actually sleeping better since Trump is president. Right? So, and he's like, wait, so when you wake up, you don't feel like the world's going to end? And I said, listen, you're a propagandist. I think you've drunk your own Kool-Aid. I think you've drunk your own Kool-Aid. You went out there and told the people that this guy's the most evil person on the planet, that it would be the worst thing. The world would end. The economy would crash if he became president. You know, this guy is basically Hitler. And then after you said all of that about Donald Trump, you told them that he didn't have a chance of winning. I saw a couple of so-called reporters saying that Hillary had 100% chance of winning just a few days before. So you told the people who follow you, right? Who basically live off of the information that comes out of your bubble, the propagandists, the media, the fake news, right? So you sold this message, and you sold it well. You sold that message that he was evil, that he was the devil incarnate, that he was the Antichrist. The problem is that your propaganda only worked on your side. You sold this so well to the people who were never going to vote for Trump anyway. And then when they wake up November 9th and he's won, what else are they supposed to feel but that their world is ending? Like the weight of the world is on their shoulders. Some of them are still waiting for the economy to drop. People are waiting for the end of the world, for the end of existence. They're waiting for him to pull his mask off and it be Adolf Hitler. But that's because you guys sold that message. You guys lied to the people. So now you want to know why the people are feeling so horrible every day? That's because your propaganda worked on you, worked on your people, on your side. Trump supporters saw the propaganda for what it is. We didn't fall for it. So we don't feel like today's our last day. But that's exactly where you guys are. It's Trump derangement syndrome. What was it? It was Trump anxiety disorder that a doctor had called it a while ago, a psychologist. That's the disorder that you guys have. And it's the result of all the propaganda being pushed on you by the media, by the mainstream media. And you guys got brainwashed into thinking that any of these, today may be your last day because of Donald Trump. I suggest that you go get medical attention for that. You guys have a mental disorder, or you have something that cloud. Have you ever seen the commercials where I forgot it's depression medication, and the guy has a shadow following him around, and then when he takes the medication, the shadow leaves. You guys need medication to get rid of that propagandist shadow that has followed you around since November 9th. And then the media, after November 9th, the media focused itself on the Electoral College and told you they had a chance to still knock down Trump. This is what I'm saying. That people got stuck in this propagandist message by the media, and they've been in that loop ever since. So help me help you. Listen to me. You have Trump derangement syndrome, Trump anxiety disorder, and it's about time you guys go get yourself checked. And I really feel bad for you guys. I really do. It's not... Look, I didn't like Obama. I wasn't a Barack Obama supporter, right? You know, but I never felt like that. I knew that the country was strong enough to, not die while Obama was president. I knew that wasn't going to happen. Listen, if you don't like Trump, rest assured that he may just be in there for another 2.5 years, or maybe 6.5 years. Who knows? But this too shall pass for you. It's not the end. It's not the end as you know it. That's the thing, that you guys need help. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHHLP 103.5 FM.
Living life stress-free, full of integrity. A lot of people full of drama. I'm on the highway floating, sober, reflecting on life, striving to master self. And all my negative vices, advice from Andrew, the alcoholic, was priceless. Don't tell him your moves before you make them, remain silent. Another vet read me like the Bible. He said I wear the mask, but the mask don't cover what I did. Saying he could see the pain under my eyelids, and straight to my soul, right through my iris. I've donated wheatgrass to the homeless, pulled guns, shot a few brothers, I don't condone it. Did time, I gave them what I owed them. A few chicks I had to let go that I couldn't grow with. I start to understand Dr. Dre reason for making millions of dollars and up and leaving it. I guess peace of mind is the ultimate freedom.
My vision board is opulent and it's a rerun in my mind. My thoughts has become a better me. I know I come from kings and queens, my royal pedigree. But being taught by savages on how to hate me had me acting out of character. The energy's real, the enemy's real. The one within is realer. 32 dynasties, world wonders, we built them. And they got the nerve to say that it was aliens. I asked questions in classes they tried to fail me in. His story wasn't my story, but a myth to me. Watching my mama put presents under the Christmas tree. Thought of stealing cash out the church collection place. No more fried bologna sandwiches, I'd invest in steak. Wakes and funerals against the eulogies read. Get back with a gun today, guarantee bid in the feds. And all of this was taking place inside a young soldier's head. Since NYI, I knew the system wanted me dead, but couldn't kill me. Though they tried, I didn't oblige it. Running up out the courthouse was my only logic. I just wanted to make music my dudes could ride with. And show the world I was nice without being biased. I almost let my ego get the best of me. And I don't owe these clowns nothing, why would they question me? When they just have a man, they can't stand next to me. Priorities got me focused on my legacy. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. You could die from someone else's misery. They say that emotional states are as infectious as diseases. Yeah, you might feel like you're helping a drowning man, but only participate in your own disaster. You know what I'm saying? The unfortunate sometimes draw misfortune on themselves. They also draw it to you. So my jewel to you, associate with the happy and the fortunate instead. One.
All right, you're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave. All right, let's move on to the next headline. U.S. Army Brigadier General Anthony Tata, retired, said President Trump was justified in revoking the security clearance of John Brennan, who Tata described as a clear and present danger to the nation. Trump on Wednesday revoked the former CIA director's clearance. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders announced, saying Brennan has a history that calls his credibility into question. In response, Brennan tweeted hours later, "This action is part of a broader effort by Mr. Trump to suppress freedom of speech and punish critics. It should gravely worry all Americans, including intelligence professionals, about the cost of speaking out. My principles are worth far more than clearances. I will not relent." This is interesting, right? Trump, now, the title of this article is actually General Tata General Tata says communist John Brennan never should have had a security clearance. Yeah, because John Brennan, I think it was in the 1960s when he voted for a Stalinist, right? He voted for a communist to be president. So how he gets his security clearance, because supposedly part of the security clearance questions is, have you ever been loyal to a communist party and all of this stuff? So he probably should have never gotten his security clearance, right? So what is interesting here is how John Brennan in his tweet says that it's an attack on freedom of speech, right? And NBC, President Trump is revoking former CIA director and high-profile Trump critic John Brennan's security clearance from the White House, right? And they've all been calling it an attack on freedom of speech. CNN has been doing that for days. The only thing that stopped them from doing that was, Aretha Franklin's passing. But they've been saying that it's an attack on freedom of speech. Now, I don't understand. So, this is what I mean. I understand that the media is intellectually dishonest. But when people who are, by all standards, intelligent people, they actually read the headline and they go with the headline. As if they don't have like they don't have critical thinking skills. Like they can't go past the headline. Now here's the thing. John Brennan spied on the Senate, then lied to the Senate about spying on the Senate. You know, he has lied to Congress numerous times. His last lie was that he knew nothing about the Russian dossier, that he knew nothing about the investigation when the FBI and the CIA were working together. The FBI had to actually work with the CIA because the spy that they put into the Trump campaign was actually a CIA asset. This is the thing, that Brennan knew all about it. Him and Harry Reid actually leak that there was an investigation, that there was a dossier. They had already leaked this stuff. Brennan is a leaker. He's a known leaker. And he's a liar. And that goes for James Clapper. That goes for Susan Rice. These people are on record lying. So anyway, Brennan, in his tweet, says, this is an attack on my freedom of speech, but I will not relent. I'm going to keep going. How is it an attack on freedom of speech? How is he trying to shut you down if you are not going to relent because you have your First Amendment right of free speech that nobody is taking away from you? He didn't throw you in jail. He didn't do anything like that. He took away a security clearance that you shouldn't have. You're a leaker and a liar. He took away a security clearance that's a privilege for retired CIA directors. It's a privilege. It's not a birthright. And within those regulations, it says in order to keep that privilege, you have to act as if you're still CIA director. You have to act a certain way. Brennan continuously goes out there on CNN and says stuff like as if it's fact. You know, or he'll tweet that Putin has something on Trump as if it's fact. He doesn't even a lot of the stuff he says or tweets doesn't even lend itself to conjecture. It makes it sound like it's fact, and this guy has had security clearance, so people take his word for it. John Brennan is a clown, an asshat, who shouldn't have security clearance. And I was listening to MSNBC and CNN this morning saying, we're losing, decades of experience. What if they need Brennan? What if he could help them? Nobody's calling on Brennan to assist them in the White House. Nobody is calling on Brennan. It was under Brennan that supposedly Russia meddled. It was under Brennan that they knew since 2014 that Russia was meddling. And it still happened. That failure was under the Obama administration, and guess who was CIA director? Brennan. All right. This is the thing that it's like, it's really not that hard, people. It's not that hard. And the thing is that this guy, it isn't like he's hiding. Go read the stuff that he says about Trump. Go look at his interviews. They're disgusting attacks on the current president of the United States. A former CIA director behaving like that. It's ridiculous. I applaud my president for actually taking action on that clown. You're listening to Breaking News with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave. on WNHH-LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Illegal business controls America. Business controls America. I never ever ran from the Ku Klux Klan, and I shouldn't have to run from a black man. Industry rule number 4080. Record companies are shady. Yeah, I know y'all been waiting now. Y'all been patient. Let's go. I be the MC version of UEP, the all-seeing through my 2020 brown Bruce Lee's, Malcolm X / Muhammad Ali, karate chop the rider's block with the Hasi Selassie karate. Your photo shoots with the same old stare. You're sitting there in the wicker chair, holding the heat. You're in the spare with my coalition comrades in the rear. Pat down, peasy, we here with their fists in the air. What I say, these rappers wanna blast me away, but I'll be back with no delay, like Jesus Christ on Easter Sunday. In their rings, they wanna murder God body, sacrifice the life for the Christ on Good Friday, resurrect and return the wreck. Snap a nigga neck for some live effects. Approach the podium, give a mic check, adjust the specs, bless the chest with a bulletproof vest before I catch wreck. Spitting and spazzing yo in the side of assassins and rapping before biggest bullets be blasting yo at my black ass and hit a free the hood from the mental enslavement. This ain't gangster rap, this is a form of entertainment. Controversial, cause see no sense coming through the speaker like the brick through the living room window of a civil rights leader. Prolific, gifted, leaving spirits lifted like Dr. King's last words before we got his cap twisted. I'm told I'm
All right, you're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry A.K. The Brave on WNHH-LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. All right, so Andrew Cuomo, Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York, this week was quoted on video saying America was never that great. He's saying Trump is talking about making America great again, which he has. Look at the economy, and he's made us stronger militarily. He wants to fight the crime that's going on in the cities. The mayors won't let him. Look at Chicago. Anyway, so Governor Cuomo said America's never been that great. Trying to contradict Donald Trump. Governor Cuomo, a millionaire in his own right. America's never been that great. And now he's trying to roll it back. But this is look, don't get fooled. Don't let him roll it back. Because this is exactly how a lot of the Democrats feel. A lot of them feel. They don't like America. They've been trying to change the system from within all along. This is what they're doing. They're trying to break America because they don't see it as great. Which is exactly what Obama said when he said he was going to fundamentally change America. These guys don't like America. They're not proud of America. That's why Obama went on his apology tour when he became president. Don't let these guys get away with it. Let's move on because I got a couple of minutes. All right, so let's go. Okay, to suspected ISIS member accused of killing Iraqi police officer is captured in Sacramento, California. Yes, an ISIS member was apprehended in North California on Wednesday after being accused in a 2014 murder of a police officer in Iraq. He was part of the refugee program. Okay? The refugee program that Donald Trump has been saying. This is the reason for the travel ban. We can't vet these people. We can't do a good job of vetting these people. This guy is one of the cracks. He fell through the crack. Thank God we caught him before he did something here in America. But he was cleared by the Obama administration to come here in 2014. He traveled to Iraq, killed the police officer, and then came here. An ISIS member. Okay? This is the problem. You try to fix a broken system like this, and they call you racist. But there's proof that there's problems with this program. All right. Let's move on. All right, let's jump. Okay. I spoke about this New Mexico case over there where another guy who was basically training kids to be part of his terror ring here in America, the kids were training to be school shooters, to go and be terrorists in schools. And a judge let them go. A judge put them on bail. And it's a $20,000 bail only if they don't show up to court. They owe $20,000 if they don't show up to court. They didn't have to put nothing down. And a kid was killed in that compound. They found bones of a 3-year-old dead kid. And you have activist judges making decisions like this because she said she didn't want to judge their religion. You have all of these activist judges making horrible decisions. It's ridiculous. All right, people, I got to get out of here. You're listening to Breaking News, or you've been listening to Breaking News with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. Monday, I'm going to switch it up a little. I'm going to have a guest. So stay tuned Monday. I'm going to have a local person, a DJ, come in and give us a little info on what she's doing here in Connecticut. All right, so you've been listening to Breaking News. See ya.
Of heart, make firm thy mind. The tongue of a man is the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot. Cast not thy heart after riches. There's no ignoring fate and destiny. Place not thy thoughts on things outside. Every man is destined for his hour.
I'm feeling goods where all of your cash went. Not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process, believe me, greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in, positive mind, gotta reach it. Put an effort to bring forth this new being. You're not consumed by the lust for things, but knows that his worth is determined by words and deeds. Your mind is affected by words and deeds. Your thoughts are keys to what you're trying to see, and what you're trying to see should be to reach your goals. Hold on to your dreams, keys open doors. Since you can't always choose circumstances, make sure that you use your thoughts wisely. Choose advancement, move towards the future. Now's your chance, kid. Accept responsibility, avoid resentment. Actions always take root from what you think about. Things ain't going your way, ain't it hard to figure out why? Why? Ask why. Ain't gotta tell you, it's right in front of your eyes. So in following these principles, you'll find along the road you're the only one responsible for your soul. It's no coincidence. Take control of your life, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. You take control, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Yeah, it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Nah, it's no coincidence.
Old shells are highly prized. And this one is occupied by a sarcastic fringe.